Is the U.S. prepared to counter the threat that AI technology and deepfakes in particular could pose to a 2024 election? A group of experts conducted a war game exercise to find out what they learned, and it was alarming. NBC News has exclusive reporting on that war game exercise, which was put together by dozens of former senior U.S. and state officials and tech executives. They ran through various scenarios to game out what could happen if deepfakes try to disrupt the 2024 election. Miles Taylor, who was one of the organizers and a former DHS official, told NBC News that it was, quote, jarring for folks in the room to see how quickly just a handful of these types of threats could spiral out of control and really dominate the election cycle. NBC News Global Security reporter Dan DeLuce helped break that story. He joins me now. You said before you came on, Dan, that we're going to scare all our viewers here today, but there's a reason why. Explain how the deepfake dilemma worked.
No, it really is dismaying to go through all this. And so what they did is they said, okay, imagine it's a week before the election, and there's all these sort of rumors and falsehoods flying around. And these government officials from the state and the federal government try to figure out what's true. One of the things that happens was elderly voters in Arizona get phone calls telling them from the local officials, purportedly, telling them that there's some threat from a militia and not to go to the polling place, go tomorrow, the next day after the election. And it turns out to be sort of a Russian disinformation campaign. And it's using artificial intelligence for this fake audio. And then there's fake images in Florida, but they look very real. People dumping ballots and so on. It turns out to be actors who are doing something for a joke. Right. And then again, the Russians sort of take that and exploit it. And so what really came through was, first of all, how do you detect something in time? Because the false information moves so fast, right? And it's not clear that these state or even federal agencies have the ability to detect an artificial intelligence-enabled deep fake. And then the tech companies also are maybe reluctant now to engage with the federal government, which we know from these court rulings. So it's kind of a perfect storm developing.
So this was a private group of former government officials that conducted this exercise that you got to get a glimpse of. Do we think current government officials are doing similar exercises? Is there any sort of plan in place to deal with this?
They're definitely aware of this threat, and they're definitely trying to prepare, and they are gaming it out. What made this different is you had tech executives in the room, and that's not what's happening here in Washington, right? The federal agencies are not really communicating with the tech companies and the social media platforms because of all these lawsuits that have happened and all these accusations of suppressing free speech if they even communicate. So that's a big concern. And the federal government also feels that if they say too much publicly in these situations, they'll be accused of tilting the scales in favor of Biden's reelection, and they want to appear neutral. So the pressure then is on the state officials and the local officials, and they're really not equipped in many ways to detect all this.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the issue too, right? Because we have a decentralized election system here in the United States. Basically, the states run their own elections, and they kind of all contribute to this big federal election. As you rightly point out, it's enough for them just to do the election itself, let alone police all the action around it.
That's right.
Is it possible for them to police this?
I think it's really difficult. This is totally new, right? So our system is not built for this. It's not built to anticipate political violence or massive disinformation. So when you have a hurricane, the federal government knows exactly what to do. State governments know what to do. There's a central chain of command. There's a whole playbook, right? There is not a playbook for this. So people are trying to figure out what to do. And one of the issues is these state governments have all these new inexperienced officials running elections. And of course, this is something that only happens every 2 or 4 years, right? So it's not like a public health system that's always kind of improving and gaining knowledge.
Right. Well, fascinating report, Dan. Alarming, to say the least. But thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.